Well, hello. This is Rochelle, and thank you for joining me here on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel. Today, as we wrap up the Count It Joy devotional written by Christina Fox, I, again, honestly am just so incredibly overwhelmed with how timely this word is, how it is kind of a universal word at the moment, and even just looking at what's going on in media and with various countries all over the world, this really and truly is a word that is exactly at the right time. So count it joy, James says. As I was reading the questions and going through the devotional again for this wrap-up video, I was just challenged in that that's exactly what Jesus did. Jesus endured the cross. Why? Because of the joy set before him. Because of the result that is at the end of the trial and the trouble and the tribulation. Jesus understood that it had a bigger picture. And it's been my prayer, honestly, this last little while, it's been my prayer that the Lord would help me to understand that it is about so much more than just me and my current discomfort. So I wanted to make like a little title. At first I thought I was going to use that part of the printable or part of the Faithfilled digitals that says counted in green. I love this green. I love the kind of eucalyptus color that goes with this. And so I decided to instead kind of try and write it myself. My Tombow glue has seen better days and it is half empty. Well, more than half empty. It's very empty. So I'm just I cut through one of the flower arrangements. These I cut directly from the cover. So I scanned my cover into the scan and cut and then cut out the floral clusters. So it gives me some extra flowers for this month because honestly, I don't think you can get enough. And then for this kind of heading, I just wrote with my Pit Artist pen in an S nib, I think. Yes, in an S nib. And this is the dark brown, so the dark sepia. I use that to then kind of make this, looks like it's running through the flowers, and then wrote Count It Joy. I tried to do it in the same kind of font that was there. I probably could have done it a million different ways of tracing, etc., but in the end, that's it. And then, as I usually do with these reflection videos or these wrap-up videos where I answer these questions, I take the verses that are given, and this month they were chapters. I mean, goodness, there was a sufficient reading for you to understand the importance of calling on the Lord and getting your strength and your joy from Him. It really was a definite instruction for me. And so I took the verses that were relevant for me, or the kind of key verses if it was like an entire chapter or passage that was part of the reading plan. So I took those verses, put them on the pattern paper as backing, and or having a little frame for the verse addresses, then wrote out the verses. If it was a written out verse or typed out verse in the devotional, like the bottom one in James, I just cut that out and stuck that down using the beautiful pattern paper. It really is a stunning set of Faithfilled digitals. So then I took that same dark sepia in an S-nib and I am answering these very hard questions. I realize over and over and over again that it's important for us to answer these questions. It's important for us to assess where we're at, assess if we are truly understanding what the Word of God says, and then not just assess but apply. So it's good and well I say count it joy, but then if the question asks me, what am I currently facing? What am I currently going through where I need to count it joy, where the The joy of the Lord is my strength. So if there's a situation I'm facing currently that requires me to have strength to face it, if there is a trial or hardship or stress that requires strength, it means that I need the joy of the Lord. I particularly enjoyed the question or cherished the question where it asks me, what's the difference between spiritual joy and physical happiness? Happiness is dependent on a circumstance. It's dependent on a happening. It's dependent on something physically happening for me to be happy about it. Whereas joy is an act of faith. Joy really and truly is, even though I can't see it, or even though that which I do see is the complete opposite of what would make me happy, that I still have the joy of the Lord, that He is my source of joy. My faith is an expression of joy. My faith is the looking at the situation and understanding that God is still in control, that the cross is enough, and that then gives me reason for joy. I find my joy in the Lord. It is the joy of the Lord that then gives me the strength to go through. James says, count it all joy, because in the end it does a work of patience, a work of purpose. And for me, that is definitely a huge thing at the moment. I do understand that I need to step out in purpose and in patience, and for that I need to count it joy. So I did take some of these Nouveau crystal drops and kind of just drop them in kind of places here on the page, like I did with my card, and then calling it a page. I really loved this devotional. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.